Update. Am I the a-hole? My best friend's wife told him that she had an affair with me. Original post. The last 4 days have been the most horrible in my life. I have no idea how to deal with anything and wanted to get opinions on what to do next, since I see posts like this on Reddit. My best friend's wife told him that she had an affair with me, which never happened. I, 35 male, have been married to my wife, 35 female, for 8 years. We have 2 wonderful kids. But this is about my friend Josh, 35 male, and his wife, married, 34 female. I met Josh during my freshman year of college, and we have been friends ever since. We have always shared our love for tech, and he's always my go-to guy when I need someone to talk to. Josh started dating Mary 5 years ago. Let's just say Mary has a very different set of morals than my wife or me. She's very loud, manipulative, and just craves attention. Josh and Mary had been dating on and off for 4 years. They broke up often, but somehow always ended up together after a few months. Mary is always the one who breaks up with Josh, and then takes him back. I also know that Mary cheated on Josh at least with 2 guys when they were dating, but somehow convinced him that he was not putting enough effort into the relationship. Josh always blames himself for Mary not being happy. My wife also knows about all of this and has always kept her distance from Mary. However, we do meet her often during parties with friends. Josh and Mary got married last year, and last month Josh found out that Mary was cheating on him again and had an affair with one of her co-workers. Josh was completely broken and stayed at our place for a week, before going back and confronting Mary and kicking her out of the house. Josh bought the house before marriage, and hence he had to get the cops involved to kick her out. From what we know, Mary moved back to her parents' house. I've been helping Josh through the process, and he filed for divorce last week. Last Saturday, Mary came to Josh's house to collect her stuff along with her dad. I had advised Josh to get out of the house when they came, but he wanted to make sure she did not take anything that did not belong to her. During her visit, Josh got into a fight with Mary, and Mary told Josh that she had an affair with me while they were married, and we used to do it in their bedroom. This is all 100% false. I have always known that Mary was trouble and kept my distance from her. I feel like she's just trying to hurt Josh by saying that. After that incident, Josh got extremely agitated and came to our house. I saw he was distressed and knew something was wrong. As I opened the door, he started cursing at me and accusing me of sleeping with Mary. Luckily, the kids were not at home, but my wife and I were there, and we were both shocked by what he was saying. He tried to hit me, but luckily he hit my shoulder, and I was able to wrestle him on the ground and calm him down. I kept telling him that what Mary told him was completely false, and that I had never spent a single minute with her alone in my life. My wife threatened to call the cops and he left. After he left, my wife was completely inconsolable. It took me hours to calm her down and convince her that Mary was manipulating Josh. I work from home and rarely leave my house without my wife or kids. I think she believes me, but she has been different for the last 4 days. Josh told a lot of my close friends that I was having an affair with Mary. He's not taking my calls or my wife's calls. My wife tried to call Mary, but she was also not taking our calls. All my friends, including Josh, think that I am the biggest a-hole for getting involved with his freaking wife. I have no idea how to convince anyone that this is false. I'm just so frustrated. Can someone please give me advice on what I can do next? Now for the top advice before reading the update. Consult with a lawyer. Ask if you have a case to sue Mary for defamation. I'm serious. She's telling lies you should be able to prove are false, and she is doing measurable damage to your life and reputation. If a lawyer thinks you have a case, you should file ASAP. Good idea. Might be my last resort to get truth out of Mary. Yes, at the very least threaten her with suing her for defamation. Honestly, that's messed up, dude. I struggle to understand, given the context, how your wife and friends don't believe you. But it sounds like you need to just clear the air with a simple denial that you did it. Offer to give evidence to anyone who doesn't believe you, if you have any. And that you're happy to be friends still, but won't be talking about the situation. Their choice. As for your wife, you've got to take a softer approach, of course. But still tell her she needs to either believe you, allow her to do any kind of investigating or whatever to verify it if she can, or you guys need to go to counseling. No half measures and no treating you differently because you can't prove a negative. Anyway, that's what I would do. Damn, dude. I'm sorry, man. I'll say a prayer for you. Terminal weakling syndrome in your friend, dude. It's hard to prove definitively that he didn't do this. This is why false allegations like this can be so damaging. This, except if she gives specific details like dates, times, etc., and he can show he was doing something else / being somewhere else. But Mary doesn't seem inclined to do it. Regarding his wife, he can offer to check his phone or ask for a list of his phone calls to show her they haven't got any contacts. Now for the update. First of all, thanks to the commenter and everyone who suggested that we should file for defamation. I just kept on thinking in my head how I could get Mary to tell the truth and convince Josh that I had completely forgotten the legal route. I was not able to update, as the lawyers had told us to not say anything until we got a confession from Mary. After posting on Reddit, my wife and I spent a few hours at night reading through all the comments. We immediately decided to explore whether we could sue Mary for defamation. Some of you suggested that I should take a polygraph test. I asked my wife if we should find a place for that, and she smiled. She said she does not doubt me one bit, but we can't let people have any doubt that I had an affair with Mary. Our kids are friends with her kids, and we can't live with them thinking I had an affair with Mary. She just wanted us to be strong and solve the issue as soon as possible. In the morning, we messaged my wife's mother's friend, who is a very experienced attorney. We called her based on the time she gave us in the morning and explained the issue. She said that we should pursue the legal route, but she does not handle such cases, and gave us the contact of another attorney in her firm and set up a meeting with her at noon. We went to visit her and discussed the issue. The lawyer told us that we could sue Mary as she made false accusations, and there is a precedent of considering what she said as slander, as it attacked my character and we can prove emotional distress. However, she told us that a defamation lawsuit is a very long and expensive process, and may take several years. She told us that Mary has a weak hand, and she will not want to go to court. Hence, we should give her a way out by telling her to give in writing that what she said was false. Moreover, as she said a false statement to Josh, we would need Josh to state what she said. I won't go into details here, but might post it in the comments later on. However, we came up with a plan for sending her a letter of intent to sue for defamation. The attorney worked on this, and we got notified that Mary received a letter on Friday morning at her parents' place. The letter told her that we would sue her by the end of the month if she did not provide an official statement in writing that the statements she had made were false. The letter also told Mary to only communicate via the law firm regarding this matter. As planned, I messaged Josh and told him we had decided to sue Mary for defamation due to the false statements she made about the affair. We would leave no stone unturned to prove that the allegations are false. Our lawyers will contact you next week, and we hope you cooperate with them and tell them exactly what she said to you. On Saturday morning, as I was cooking breakfast and my wife was sitting with our kids, the doorbell rang. I saw the Ring camera that Josh and Mary standing outside the door. Before I could tell my wife to stay back and not open the door, she bolted towards the door. She opened it and started yelling at Josh. She's 5 foot nothing tall, but she's scary when she's angry. She just started calling him names. And how can he destroy our lives when we supported him at his lowest? Josh just kept saying he just wanted to talk to me and kept repeating that. He looked down. My wife just kept on yelling at him and telling him to get lost. Mary started talking then, saying that she was sorry for what she said, that Josh was hurting her as she was packing, and she just said that hurt him. She just kept on saying that Josh is such an idiot and has created such a big mess. My wife turned to her and told her that she better find a good lawyer and to reply to our lawyers. At last, she told Josh that if he wanted to meet me, go and first make things right for me, and then slammed the door. I was watching all this from the breakfast table through a Ring camera and realized that we recorded the whole conversation, including Mary confessing her lies. I felt so relieved in the moment knowing that I had proof of her telling the truth. We forwarded the video to our lawyer, and she sent a thumbs up and called us briefly to say that we should meet on Monday to discuss the next steps. After an hour or so, Josh messaged our friend group that he did a terrible thing and spread false statements about me. He is ashamed of it and wants to apologize for it. Moments later, Mary messaged saying that some statements she made were misconstrued by Josh and that what he told everyone was false. Their relationship is going through rocky times and would thank everyone for giving them privacy and to pray for them. The rest of the day has been great. I've been taking my kids to their Saturday activities and playing with them, while my wife was talking on the phone with all of my friends' wives and her friends gossiping about what happened. The only thing I told her was to not send a Ring video of Josh and me from last week, and not to mention Mary's affair to them. I still think it's a private matter that Josh told us in confidence, and we should respect that. Everyone was shocked that Josh attacked me physically. Regarding my friends, I made a blanket statement that they all hate me in the last post. But in reality, 4 of my friends called me during this week to ask me what was going on. They told me they knew how crazy Mary was and asked me how they could support me. One of the friends was the one that Josh had called. He told me that Josh told him that Mary had an affair with me and he had filed for divorce. He conveniently left out the part about her cheating on her coworker. I don't think anyone apart from my wife and I know the whole story. He knows at least 2 of the other friends Josh called and said the same. Due to this, the gossip started spreading that they were divorcing because of me, and most of my friends were just waiting on the sidelines instead of extending support to me. However, I think I learned who are the people that got my back in need. About Josh, we still plan to file for TROs against him and Mary next week. The lawyer said we should be able to get it for Josh as there is clear evidence of danger, but Mary might be a long shot. We will see what to do from there. As for our friendship, it's done. It ended the minute he decided to hit me, instead of at least asking me if it was true. I can't have people like him around my wife and kids. He was a great friend, but my family and their safety have a way higher priority than him. For Mary, I guess she wins. My wife still wants to push to get her to pay our legal fees. We will see what to do on Monday. However, she was able to destroy Josh's support system with one lie. I was helping Josh through the whole divorce process, but he is on his own now. I also do not think many of my friends would be kind to him after the nonsense he tried to do at my house. I feel bad for him, and I know he needs support and professional help. However, I did my part, and I hope he understands what's right for him in the future. Thanks again for so many helpful comments. My wife also wants to thank all of you, and I'm glad that this is over now. Still not the a-hole, but so Josh is still going to stay with her? After she A. said he was abusing her and that compelled her false confession even though her dad was with her, and then B. backpedaled further by saying he misconstrued things she said, has got problems. I'd send him the screenshot of her message, essentially placing the blame on him for misunderstanding her lie instead of her making it up in the first place. But she also point blank said Josh is an idiot and has created such a big mess, and he did/said nothing. Finally, you legally notified her of your retention of an attorney and to direct all communication through said attorney. She violated that order by coming to your home and again later by directly messaging you. Further, your attorney asked that she make this statement in writing and not in person or over the phone. You're lucky your camera caught the confession, but your attorney should be able to get an order against her violating the terms of your cease and desist letter. Sounds like they deserve each other. At this point, yeah, they do. OP unfortunately needs to realize the friend he knew his whole life is gone. She's fundamentally changed him for the worse as a person, and he has no hope of returning to the person he once was until she's out of his life. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not doing anything to prevent my female 35 husband male 35 from cheating with his work wifey, female 25? So I met work wifey last Thursday at a Christmas party. She introduced herself as work wifey, and she called my husband work hubby and told that to everyone. When she saw me, she just exclaimed, "Oh, we are like two totally different people. How weird is that?" Not weird at all. We don't know each other. No, I mean like because your husband and I get along so well, like we like totally get each other and have a lot in common. Like totally. That's why he's like my work hubby. I didn't know what a manic pixie dream girl was, but apparently she was one, and apparently it was something to brag about. I just found the whole thing very amusing, but on our way home, it wasn't very amusing anymore. I felt a little bit of ick watching my husband's profile, wondering what was going on in his head. He has told me about his new colleague that he got along with. He told me that she was great at her job and that she was a gamer like him. I don't even know how to hold a joystick properly. Not even sure if it's called a joystick anymore. Ugh, I sound like a boomer, don't I? I know that they text a lot too, even on weekends. I never thought about that before now. I found myself sat at the toilet seat at 3:30 a.m. scrolling through his phone in total silence not to wake him up. She's very youthful and quirky. Her words, not mine. She's very funny too. Again, her words, not mine. She calls him hubs and hubby in every text. And in one text, she warned him that men fell easily for her and that she just wanted to give him the heads up. I guess it is because she's a youthful, quirky, funny, manic pixie dream girl gamer. Her last text was from the same evening after we left the party. She wrote that she was pissed that he didn't say goodbye before leaving, and that I was a bit surprising to her because she didn't expect him to have this type. OMG, your wife is boring. I didn't expect that. I felt ashamed when I came to my senses. Cowering over his phone and reading weird and very juvenile messages, instead of being sound asleep beside my husband that makes me safe in our relationship, but I couldn't help but agree with manic wifey in some parts. Why is he continually engaging with her? He doesn't flirt back, nor does he initiate conversations, but he doesn't really shut her down. My husband can be stupid in not noticing flirting, but I feel that this is beyond being stupid. Does he enjoy the attention, or worse, does he reciprocate it? In that case, she is not wrong in what is he doing with someone like me who is totally different from whatever is going on between them. Today I had my usual brunch with my mom, aunt, sister, and sister-in-law. They said that I was an a-hole for not nipping it in the bud, and by it they meant the budding affair. I disagreed, and tried to explain that I couldn't be in a relationship where I needed to stand guard to keep away temptations. I want a marriage where he is with me because he wants to be with me, and if it cheats, then he doesn't want to be with me. My mother was the one who got most upset, and called me a moron and an a-hole, and said that this was the mature thing to do. I need to tell my husband to end this friendship, because if I didn't, then I let him cheat. Am I the a-hole? I can't believe what life this is that they want me to lead, and how it is so normal for my family to think that way. I want a willing husband, not a prisoner. I want someone who wants me 100% or nothing. Not the a-hole, but I would be having a conversation with your husband about it and telling him how you feel. Whether he's initiating the conversation or flirting or not doesn't really matter, if he's entertaining the conversation regardless. His colleague is bold, that's for sure. I can't believe she had the audacity to introduce herself to you as his work wife and then turn around to talk badly about you to your husband. She's fishing him to see what he thinks about his wife. Yes, she gave him an opening to criticize her. Awful woman. The work wifey and work hubby crap needs to be shut down now. It's totally inappropriate, and your husband needs to put an end to it. Ask him how he would feel if you were engaging in this behavior with another man. We had a work wifey and work hubby at my job. They thought it was harmless and cute. Then they left their long-term partners to be together. Their relationship lasted for 2 months, and now they hate each other. Who wants to work with their partner?